What else is out?
The Colour Purple, COLOR, film adaptation of the stage musical of the novel by Alice Walker, previously adapted as a dramatic film by Steven Spielberg in the 1980s. This is directed by Blitz Bazwule, a.k.a. Blitz the Ambassador, Ghanaian filmmaker, rapper, visual artist, and record producer, whose CV also includes Burial of Kojo and Beyoncé's Black is King. Produced by Oprah Winfrey, who played Sophia in Spielberg's film version, got a supporting actress nod, along with Spielberg, Scott Saunders, and Quincy Jones, who was the co-producer and composer on the Spielberg version, and Winfrey, Saunders, and Jones produced the stage play, which was a huge hit. So all of these things coming back together again. New version also features a cameo by Whoopi Goldberg, who played Celie in the original. You're my age, so you will remember the original one coming out, and earned one of the film's 11 Oscar nods for Best Actress. This time, Celie is played by Fantasia Barrino, with Danielle Brooks playing Sophia and getting the film's Soul Oscar nomination. As I said, again, back to the Oscar nomination. So, the Alice Walker novel, which many people listening will have read, won the Pulitzer Prize in 1983, set in rural Georgia, early 1900s, follows the story of Celie, who, as a child and a victim of incest rape, has 2 children by her father, both of whom are taken away from her immediately after they're born. She is then married off to Mr., played in this version by Coleman Domingo, separated from her sister, who is the only person in the world who appears to love her, beaten by her husband, who cares only for nightclub singer Shug Avery, played here by Taraji P. Henson, who then takes a shine to Celie. When Mr. Son Harpo, Corey Hawkins, falls for Sophia, it looks like both he and his dad have met their match. Here's a clip.
I want to introduce y'all to my girl. This here's Sophia.
A lot of woman.
Who's kin of you, gal? You seem like trouble.
Oh, no, sir. I'm one of August Butler's daughters. No trouble at all. Just big.
Who the daddy?
Apple.
I ain't gonna let you marry my son because you in the family way. Petty gal like you can take his mind, but you can't have his money.
He ain't got no money. See, my sister and her husband say I can live with them as long as I please. Now, I come here out of respect. But if there ain't none to get, there sure ain't none to get. Don't keep me waiting.
So she is not to be messed with.
No.
However, Celie, who knows only violence and battery, advises Harpo when Harpo says, I can't, she just does what she wants. She says, well, you need to beat her with disastrous consequences. So, look, this is a tough story, okay? Incest, rape, racism, violence. And questions were asked when the Spielberg version came out about whether or not the Spielberg version had soft-pedaled the novel. I mean, you remember all this? It was quite.
I don't remember that dispute.
But it was quite a big deal, the fact that Spielberg was taking on this incredibly acclaimed thing. Was he the right person to do it? And actually, there's a lot of literature written about the way in which The Colour Purple was received by different audiences, and the things that, even though there are things that are problematic about it, how much some people took it to heart. Anyway, if there is any question of softening in that version, that question is absolutely amplified in this. I mean, there is something strange, I suppose, about the idea of a story with all those elements in it being done as a musical, although the play was a huge hit. The stage play was a huge hit and got loads of Tony nominations. So by the time of the finale of this version of The Colour Purple, all the it's almost like all the wrongs have been righted in a way that feels very much like, I suppose, in the musical tradition. And last week we had the film of the musical of Mean Girls, and I said it was better than the film of the musical of The Producers, but not as good as the film of the musical of Hairspray. This is better than Mean Girls, which incidentally just went in at number 1, not least, I think, because the music is really terrific and infectious, and the performances are very, very engaging. I mean, great cast. Every single character, very, very well cast. Taraji P. Henson is dynamite as a Shug Avery. When she performs that song, Celie's Blues Sister, which of course is in the original film, I mean, it's a showstopper. She also does this song called Push the Button, which is absolutely, complete barnstorm, and apparently on stage was like always a kind of really big thing, and that works really well. Fantasia Barrino makes a very, very impressive screen debut. Cast also includes Lou Gossett Jr., John Batiste, Ingenue Ellis Taylor-Moore. Excellent production design, earworm songs, eye-catching choreography. It's still strange. There is still something strange about seeing this story done as a musical, and it certainly throws a very different perspective onto... I mean, weirdly enough, I watched the Spielberg version not so long ago because there was some research that was being done in our household. And I hadn't watched the Spielberg since it came out. And there are things about the Spielberg that really do strike a strange and uncomfortable note. But there is a bit at the very beginning of the Spielberg when you're first introduced to the two girls walking through the fields, and then you realise that one of them is pregnant. One of these children is pregnant. And it's shocking. I mean, it's absolutely shocking. And of course, that is there right at the very beginning of this story. But this does feel much more like, I mean, I don't know whether you've seen the posters, but it's smiles, it shows, it's definitely selling itself much more as a kind of absolutely positive, uplifting experience, despite the fact that all those things are still there. The domestic violence, the rape, all that stuff is there. And yet somehow it's a musical with great, upbeat, well choreographed, vibrant numbers. So I won't deny that it's strange, but I can't. The cast all give it great welly, and some very good casting and some very good production design.
Strange in a good way.
I think so. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, I did enjoy it. It is odd. It's definitely odd, but I did enjoy it.